chicken that thing. But your leg is staying in Panchi America. Banyi dwala banaban. But your leg is staying in Panchi America. Banyi dwala banaban. Walk on your leg, kankara watana watching. Oga leg gear kwa ugara leg. Panda wadiaye Panchi America. Banyi dwala bana. Chingitongo pandon kujwera baya cheka. Waku panda juru wadiabi dwala. Panchi America, Panji Dwala, Panapan Pancha
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Let's Stay Media, Mr. Rajab Mohandis. Welcome to Let's Stay Media, and for the viewers, please start here the video before we start the show. Mr. Rajab, welcome to Let's Stay Media. Thank you for attending in today, and then we will start the show very soon. Let's wait for a little bit so people can come in. Let me play one of the videos here.
Master Keunawe, Collector Bill Pamake. Wega Batit, Yeruli, Janam Bantungaya, Ninja Jenge, Kunya Gutenge, Ajin Banda Tongaya, Ajin Banda, Ajin Banda, baby, Yerulawan, Yerula, Banakoi, Murian, Murian, Kodang, Tango Banala, what do I think it again? Kubai Banda, Banijay, Manya, Alanera, Wega Batit. Yeruli janang bantungaya, ninja jenge punya jang kutenge. Ajin panda tungaya najin panda, ajin pandan bebya yerulawan, yerula eban koi murian, murian yuit kodang, tamto panalia, wadwa dingi dadeng, kubai pandang panijay manyen, alaneriera toko. Hey gayang na alejonya. Tong baindal bagira tumba, toni dalwa jamane punu, amen yen baino. Tong ya benya dalani je, anjal madang manga. Kada banyi vida borajwe, pangkoi tengu bendita, jana pirne tengogo. Bega yang na alejo wanyala.
Alrighty. Thank you guys. Yes. Yeah, I see you, Nuri. Yeah, keep the song ballad. I know. So I didn't put some of the song a little bit, but I just played that. That's one of the clip that we play in the Let's Say Media studio. So yeah. Thank you all. Please start sharing the video. So my guest is here. Welcome to Let's Stay Media. I will give you a floor, Mr. Mohandis, so to give us to introduce yourself, and then we'll start the show. Can you hear me? Rajab, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hear you. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Happy to for the.
Okay, guys, bear with me. We have a network issue there, so just bear with me. Let me see here if I can pull up some of the music. Okay, guys, start sharing. The network over there is bad, so he is coming back. Okay. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Sorry,
Okay, yeah.
my network failed a little bit.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, thanks. Well, thank you very much, and I'm happy to join you for the second time on Lake State Media, and my greetings to you and the listeners of Lake State Media.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the reason why we bring you back again in the show is about we see the letter, resignation letter that you wrote to IGAT about you resign from the RJMEC. Can you tell us why you resigned from that post, from your position?
Okay, thank you very much. Well, yes, I tendered a resignation letter, and this was on the 12th of September, exactly 3 years since the signing of the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in the Republic of South Sudan.
Hmm.
Well, this agreement was negotiated and signed, as the name suggests, to resolve the conflict in our country. And for the last 3 years, we have been supporting the implementation of the peace agreement throughout and making efforts to ensure that the agreement was actually implemented. Unfortunately, the implementation wasn't making progress. And in RJMEC, like for the last 3 years, we have several mechanisms. You may be aware that the reconstituted Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission is the highest oversight mechanism of the peace agreement. And in that mechanism, we have members from the parties, the South Sudanese stakeholders, or the civic groups, and then the region and the international community. So all stakeholders to the peace agreement are represented in the mechanism, in the commission, in RJMEC. And the mechanisms, or the security mechanisms, have been reporting to the commission. And the reports have always been in terms of expressing what they have accomplished and the tasks ahead and their recommendations. The meetings of RJMEC, normally referred to as plenary sessions, discuss
Hmm.
these reports and the status of implementation of the agreement. Quite unfortunately, not much is being done, especially with the recommendations and resolutions that come out of these meetings. And so 3 years down the line, we should have almost accomplished most of the key tasks of the implementation of the peace agreement. But as it stands now, we are still struggling with pre-transitional arrangements or activities which were scheduled to have been accomplished in the first 8 months of the peace agreement. 3 years down the line, they are still at large, not accomplished, and very limited progress has been made so far. And
Hmm.
the whole thing appears like the parties, especially the leaders who are supposed to be leading implementation of the peace agreement, do not seem to be so concerned about the peace agreement. And reports only suggest that there's no clear political will to lead the process. And we have seen in several occasions, attempts to actually undermine the agreement itself. There were militia groups or individuals defecting and being used to fight the peace process. and you could see the fragmentations and the delays, and most of these are actually deliberate. And so, with all this happening, citizens continue to face challenges. The population continues to suffer. People continue to be displaced, and unfortunately, fighting keeps happening in different parts of the country, especially at the local levels, as a result of the failure of the agreement to develop sufficient capacity for the government to respond to the security needs of the country. And so, in my view, sitting in the commission that is not making progress, whose results and recommendations and resolutions are not taken serious in any way, is like failing the people of South Sudan. And so I thought it was wise to resign from the commission, from RJMEC. And I made it very clear that I have respect for the content of the peace agreement and believe that if the agreement was implemented, it would help to change the situation in our country. But that is not the case. So the South Sudan Civil Society Forum that assigned me to represent civil society in the reconstituted Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission.
So what did they tell you when they received your resignation letter?
The forum say and consider this from the resignation letter and provide a formal communication to me. So yes, this is with the forum, with the civil society forum, and yeah, but there is no of course communication from RJMEC because my resignation letter was directed to the South Sudan Civil Society Forum.
So has one of the signatures of the peace agreement that signed in 2018 in Addis Ababa. Can you tell us more, because we see that there are some of the South Sudanese that are saying that okay, the peace agreement signed in 2018, September 12th, that was the deadline. That's the peace agreement expired on the 12th this month, which is few days ago. So is it true that the peace agreement expired on the 12th of this month, and that's the reason why you resigned, because the peace expired?
No, not really. In actual sense, the agreement is left with about 8 months to expire. The whole implementation was meant to run for 44 months. That is 8 months of transitional period, as 36 months of transitional period of the peace. However, there was a delay in the pre-transitional period by about 9 months. That was 6 months of an extension and an additional 100 days of an extension. So there was a delay in the transitional period, which was supposed to last for 8 months up to 17 months and 10 days. So the discussion has been that this delay, the transitional period in a way, was started by the 22nd of February last year. But if we follow the countdown from the 18th of, we are left with about 8 months for the end of the transitional period.
Okay, that will lead to 2023 for election, right?
Yes, in fact, in the arrangements, counting the transitional period as starting from the 22nd of February last year, the election should be supposed to come by the end of next year, December. That would be like 60 days before the end of the transitional period. So the whole agreement is expected to end by the 22nd of 2023.
Okay. All right, let me switch back to your movement, PCCA. When you and your colleague Abraham Walich and the rest of your team launched the calling for the uprising in the country, in South Sudan, and you guys put August 30th is working days, and that was the day that you guys put it out that people of South Sudan can go outside to protest, and that was a big that day there's nobody turn out on the street, and you guys were saying that it's because government put out this the troop on the street that prevent people to go out on the street, and now after that, now we are now a month later. People are saying, and the government saying that the PCCA is already failed. You guys failed already. And this is what the people are saying, because since then, you guys been quiet, there's nothing going on. So can you tell us, is it PCCA has failed? Is people say that it's just a organization on Facebook and it's remain on Facebook. Is that true?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, the coalition was launched on the 30th of July in Juba. And from the 30th of July to the 30th of August, just a period of 30 days, we were able to massively mobilize the country. And the 30th of August, which was the day to commence demonstrations, was what we refer to as the Day of National Awakening. To a day we meant to draw the attention of majority of the South Sudanese population to the situation in the country, the unfortunate situation in the country, but to also let the people know that they have the rights and the powers to demand that the situation should change and that they cannot continue to endure these difficulties indefinitely. So the purpose intentionally was to get the country awakened on the situation, and that achievement was first of all the government put to task, but so concerned, deploy very as you might, and then say to the people to like why, especially with arrests and harassments and the intimidations, just on almost that in itself for us to get them awakened on the issue, and for several weeks the discussion was all about in the country, and that to us was very positive. And on that note, we also want to register the fact that the coalition was able to mobilize people on the issues affecting the people of South Sudan. All along, you would see that people are being mobilized in our country along ethnic or regional lines. And the end of all this has been bloodshed in any case. But our mobilization of the citizens has been on issues that affect the country. And we saw this as very positive. Attempts were made to try to divide us along ethnic and regional lines and others, but this did not work at all. So we feel that more people are now aware and awakened on the situation in the country. And we have continuously received information from different sectors of our society that, yes, the initiative we took was great, and it actually awakened not only the citizens but also the government. There were days you would hear of almost 8 press conferences discussing and trying to explain that there is implementation of the peace agreement going on. So the government began to report to citizens that they were doing something on the peace agreement. So that in itself was a big awakening, and it was positive. And the second thing is that, it is a mass movement on the ground in the country, in Juba and different parts of the country. And so the membership has grown so far since the coalition was launched. So we don't count it as a failure. We don't count it like the coalition has ended. We are still on course and still continue to make the demands and getting people organized. And definitely we are calling for another peaceful demonstration anytime from now. We may not necessarily announce the days in advance, but that is something that will come very soon. So unless we see changes in the situation in the country, we are not going to allow the country just continue like this. We'll continue to make demands and call on the citizens to take their responsibility seriously, to demand that the situation in our country should change. So that is, and we want the government to be seriously on notice. We use the social media, which is very important. It's a modern mobilization tool and is very effective. So we will continue to use it effectively. And that also helps to connect us, not only to the population, but also to our key focal persons in different locations in the country.
Yeah, I see. I see the. I see that you sent out the audio record yesterday and the article about you talk about the myth of people were to say that the PCCA was accused for many things that you mentioned on the radio record. Can you tell us more now that why PCCA was accused for those reasons? So can you explain more to South Sudanese? Can you hear me, Rajab? Okay. Our network is real bad. That for those of you while this network is coming back on.
Thank you very much for reason of misconceptions. Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. So the network was cutting you off. Connection is real. Yes, go ahead. I'm hearing you now.
Yes, I hear you. Well, I hear you clearly.
Okay. For those of you who are watching and wondering that is it this or one-on-one? Yes, this is a one-on-one interview. I cannot bring people on this video, but if you have a question to my guest, just write your question under the comment, and I will bring up your question on the screen, and he can be able to answer it for you. So at this time, I cannot put down the link in the public. So this is just an interview one-on-one. I think I answered your question, Kamanawet. And the rest of you, just if you have question right there, I will see it. And another better question that I can bring it up. If I see the question is reasonable, and I will bring on the screen and the guest can answer it. While we're having issues with the network, I will wait for a little bit so that I will play a little bit music while waiting for the guest to come back. The network over there is really challenging. Okay.
Ngara America mati ang magmajok asili family. Hije jongram yubit bidiao. So cover it.
Okay. Welcome back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me?
network is really failing. Let's continue. Uh, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Hope you hear me.
Yes. Yeah, you're cutting. You're cutting
Uh,
off. Yeah, go ahead.
that as an hour, and that's the case. Understand about the situation. We have been the different or
Okay, Mr. Rajab, we cannot hear you. The network is really cutting off. Can you refresh your phone, see if the connection will come back? So we cannot hear anything. Can you press your phone? Okay, guys, we have network issues, so it will be back. Okay, guy, bear with me. It's coming back. Start changing the video. Okay,
Ngara America mati ang lumajok. Hayata dunia.
okay. Okay, guys, we're having a poor network. Okay, guys, thank you for bear with me. My guest is not coming back because of the network, so he will we will reschedule it again. This show when the network allowed him. So for the next time, so maybe later or tomorrow. So he's not able. So the network's really bad over there. So he just tell me that he cannot load this because of the network. So we will reschedule it again for the next time, and then we can bring him back. For those of you who are watching, thank you. We will just please, if you have a question, just write it up and then send it inbox to Lake State Media, and we'll bring those up, and then we will forward to our guest, and then he can able to answer them. I would say so. Thank you. I apologize for those of you who just wondering why the network sometimes in Juba is bad. So that's the reason. So we have no control of it. Thank you for watching. We will come back when the network allowed them. So we'll reschedule it again, and then we'll bring them back. Thank you for watching, and we will talk to you later. Thanks. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
It's your boy, I'm giving that thing. Pancho legislate, Panchir America. Panji Dwal, Banaban, Pancho legislate, Panchir America. Panji Dwal, Banaban, Wokoji Lake, Kankaro, Watana watching, Koga, Lake, Juir, Pau, Garay Lake, Panda with Yay, Panchir America, Panya Dwalabano, Chingatongo Pandon, Kujura by a checker, Papu Panda Juru, Yabi. Panchir America, Panji Dwal, Panapan Pancha Legislate.